Adam Alter is the writer of the book Irresistible that talks about tech addiction and how tech addiction has evolved because of their vast access to data to become an irresistible and powerful force. I spoke to him this week on my podcast, Under the Skin, on the Luminary platform, if you want to subscribe to it. This is one of my favourite bits of the conversation. Have a listen to Adam talking about the way that tech has evolved and how it mobilizes facets of addiction as we commonly understand it from substance. This is fascinating.
I think to say that this is all about individual self-control is a problem in the same way as it's like saying to a drug user, this is all your fault. I think we have to go back to the chemists, the people who produce these drugs, the networks, the distributors, the traffickers. And in this case, it's the tech companies. It's the companies that push us into the position where we're susceptible in the first place.
I think this is a very important distinction. There's a cultural tendency to put the onus on the individual. Think of something as simple as recycling. You've got to recycle. Instead of, why don't we pass regulation that it's illegal to use plastics and it's illegal to increase the prices of products that would previously have used plastics? Well, the reason we don't do that is because it would reduce the profits of powerful conglomerates. When talking about tech, Adam is saying here that it's absolutely vital to regulate the companies instead of saying, which is, watch as people become more aware, as they will over the next 5 years, of the negative detrimental effects of technology on all of us. They'll say, well, the users should impose, and he points out that the word user is apposite because the user is what we use, is the term that we deploy for addiction. We're all becoming addicted to tech in massive numbers. Adam points out that instead of regarding addiction as an inherent tendency within the individual, we can look at it as something that is culturally engendered. We're becoming addicts because we're being subjected to something that's highly, highly addicted. The same way that we would all become heroin addicts if we were all given heroin every single day. We're becoming addicted to tech because it is a product that is designed to make you addicted to it. He points out brilliantly at one bit that Sean Parker, an early investor in Facebook, said, we did not care about any of the consequences on the users of our product. All we wanted was minutes staring at the screen. Now, I recognize you're staring at a screen right now, and there is an irony to that, of course. But what Adam goes on to point out is that as well as us putting in place individual mechanisms to protect ourselves from these very, very addictive products, this will be useless in the face of these powerful conglomerates, these mighty Goliaths that are mining your attention, mining your consciousness, where your consciousness, your awareness, your life itself is the product that they are harvesting.
And I think if you actually want to make change, if you want to make positive change, if this is about the right kinds of policy making from a governmental perspective or from a legislative perspective or even from a spiritual perspective, if you want to improve the world, you're not going to improve the world by taking each individual who spends 4 hours a day on the screen and saying, you should use self-control. What the hell's wrong with you? That's not going to do anything. Even if 1,000 people change their behavior, that's not going to help. That's a drop in the ocean. You've got to go away from the user and you've got to go up the chain to where it begins, to the origin. And so what you do is you say to the people who decided that we should be using a like button, hey, this is a disaster. You've affected the lives of 2 billion people. This is where it needs to be fixed.
If you want to see the rest of that, have a look at Under the Skin from Luminary, and perhaps consider this when thinking about your own addiction to tech, that it's not something that you can solely control alone, although increasingly I think we're all going to need structures and methods around our devices because these things are designed to be addictive. We're going to lose the choice. Have a look at Under the Skin when you get time. Cheers.